Mapcore's Exotic Places competition, started last May, has recently ended and 10 finalists have been chosen. I'll show these 11 entries in this video. They're available for download from the workshop. Link is in this video's description. This was going to be a brief, objective video where I remained impartial to the maps on display, but I couldn't do that. I was amazed by the imagination and talent of the mappers involved in this competition. The first map I loaded impressed me so much I was disappointed because I assumed that I had already seen the best one. But I needn't have feared because each and every one of these is a masterpiece. They all possess that natural, polished look that we've grown to associate with the finest maps that CSGO has to offer. Long gone are the days of boxy rooms and flat backdrops. These are all vivid, beautiful places which would have made the top 3 of any competition the game has had up to this point. They're masterpieces. Although the competition is over, they now have a month to polish these entries, and the winners will be selected on March the 16th. First prize is $7,500, second is $4,500, third is $2,000, and fourth gets $1,000. As well as this, Valve are handing out special CSGO and Valve-related merchandise. The maps will be added to Mapcore's Faceit hub for 4 months, we'll get a spotlight on Mapcore, and of course they all get eternal bragging rights for being awesome and stuff. So what counts as exotic? Your mind might immediately jump straight to tropical islands, but the rules explain it can also be intended to mean any locations seen infrequently in CSGO, so I guess a base set in a Martian crater would have been equally valid. To try and keep it fair, map sequels weren't allowed, because somebody calling theirs Dust 3 might have a bit of an unfair advantage. Reskins of existing maps also weren't permitted. Just imagine a Martian base with the exact same layout as Mirage. Spooky. You might be surprised to hear that maps made before this competition are allowed, provided no complete map layout or proper art for it has been publicly released. Let's face it, there's no way the judges could know if your map was started last year or in 2012. So long as there isn't evidence of anything having been released before this competition started, anything goes. And when the competition gives you a generous 9 months to work on your entry, I don't know how much of a head start you'd really need anyway. That's enough time to make a new person. These maps shown have already passed the first stage of judging, where Pone, Puddy and Top Hat Waffle scored them on 4 equally important qualities: fun, theme, graphics and polish. Next month they'll be reviewed again with help from the guest experts to decide the ultimate winners. So in random order, decided by Microsoft Excel, we start with Mutiny, pirates, pirate ships, little islands with a palm tree in the middle, and a beautiful oldie-fashioned village with a few nice towers to help you to get your bearings. They've even built an interactive website for this level, complete with before and after screenshots, information on the map's camping spots, and a guided tour of the island. Swamp is like something out of Left 4 Dead, based around an abandoned industrial site in the outskirts of Louisiana. It's a tight, compact map with potential for plenty of close quarters action, and the map's location also influences the gameplay. Bubkez, maker of Mirage, has posted on the discussions page for the project, explaining why they made the swamp water slow you down. Apparently you can play this level without ever setting foot in it, but if you choose to, then it will open up new, high-risk, high-reward routes around the map. Fun fact, at 626 megabytes, it is the second biggest download here, and explains why I was sat waiting on the workshop page for so long. Anubis is an Egyptian map with huge amounts of detail. Most mappers stop, or at least drop the level of detail once it goes beyond the playable space. But not here. There are tiny details, far beyond the level itself, that I doubt anybody will ever see. But because it's there, it really brings the place to life. I spent most of my time staring around at the towers and decorations. It nails the feeling of being a lived-in place. Just ignore this floating palm tree. The warm pinky yellow colours really make it an inviting environment to explore, and there will be great visibility, even with the most problematic of custom character models. So what's the story behind this one? Apparently Egyptian locals are fed up of noisy tourists misbehaving in their town, so plan to get rid of them by blowing up the main attractions. Jingshun is set around a fictional place amidst the beautiful landscapes of Asia. In the distance are huge, looming, tree-covered peaks disappearing off into the mist. And in the foreground is a quiet village with plenty of open areas and an unusual amount of low walls, which definitely makes this map feel less claustrophobic than most. But saying that, I've never played a map with as many one-way drop-downs as this one. I played with bots to get a feel for the map and had a laugh when on the first round, the terrorists decided not to meet in middle, leaving all of the CTs stood at terrorist spawn, confused.
Bomb has been planted.
Basalt is set in Iceland, with black volcanic sand, bright, colourful buildings, and a cool parallax effect on these shrubs. Oh, and of course, the hexagonal basalt columns. This map's location is bleak, but undeniably beautiful, and it's about time one was set in Iceland, for it's a country of exotic alien landscapes. I have a lot of respect for Iceland. Being from Cornwall, I've seen a fair few big waves, but they're nothing compared with what Iceland gets. This beach in particular, I'm not going to try and pronounce it, is like something from a nightmare. Tourists are frequently getting washed out to sea by rogue waves here. And as if that isn't scary enough, there's a 50-metre finger-like rock sticking out of the sea. It's like something out of Prometheus. Graveyard is set in the future and doesn't look anything like the name might imply. The Suez Canal has dried up, leaving a warship stranded in the desert. If you squint, it could even be something from Star Wars. My impression when playing this map was how well it worked for Counter-Strike gameplay. The props and cover are all classic Counter-Strike, but thanks to the setting, it all feels distinctly new. A lot of the map is set on a slant, which is a really unique twist on normal gameplay and makes even the most basic of actions feel a bit different. It might be time I stopped playing CSGO on a PlayStation controller. Mustang is beautiful. It's like Monastery, but brighter, cleaner, and with prettier mountains. It's light, it's airy, it's colourful. On one side is a huge mountain, on the other, clouds to hide the ground far below. It feels like a place from Spyro. Readability remains good. Cover is reassuringly simple and reliable, and it's pretty obvious what's there for gameplay and what's there simply for show. Just remember, if a roof is green, it means that you can stand on it. Layout-wise, this is one of the more complicated maps in the competition. There are many corridors and passages through this level, one-way drops, and a few corridors that you can see through but can't enter. I'm sure it will be patched, but if you want to go exploring, do it at T-Spawn.
I need help here.
Ivory is the only hostage map to reach the finals. It is the only map set at night, and at 157 megabytes is the smallest map. But despite that, it still manages to cram in some nice touches like this custom hostage model. It's situated in a luxury hunting lodge, where South American police must try and rescue the hostages before it's too late. I swear this is like the third map in the competition with that Yanzel as help to texture. Chlorine seems like Aztec, but look closely and you'll notice a water slide. It's an abandoned water park, hence its name. And a cool twist on what could have been just another jungle setting. It's painted in warm, cosy evening colours. There's even a night room, which is jarring if you aren't expecting it. This map blends the two themes together masterfully. Being a fan of Left 4 Dead, I'm still expecting a zombie horde to come pouring out of the Tunnel of Love any second. Victoria is situated by Victoria Falls in Africa. Fortunately, you'll have plenty of time to see them, with a lot of the map running along the edge, and even overlooking the drop. There's some beautiful architecture to be seen elsewhere, with lots of curved ceilings and walls and a light brown colour being used throughout this map. And last is Mapcore, the largest download of them all at 632 megabytes. The story for this one is excellent. Terrorists are dissatisfied with the quality of South American coffee, so try to blow it up. This level is light, it's colourful, has plenty of custom assets, 632 megabytes worth, and I particularly like the curved roads everywhere. Like I said at the beginning, long gone are the days of boxy rooms and flat backdrops. Next month we'll know the winners. These are the guest experts who will assist the Mapcore judges with this competition. I'm happy I'm not one of them. I have enjoyed simply running about and playing on them, and I wish them all the best for this competition. And even those which don't win are still winners in my heart. I got a message from Vodka for Kids, don't do it children, saying it was a shame that only the top 10 entries got attention, and that I should show the other ones as well. While it sounds like a good thing to do, my time is limited and it's better to let a dedicated team of judges decide which maps are the best. But because the standard in this competition was so high, and because the judges left a list of honourable mentions which may still be considered for the top 10 should some be disqualified, I decided to quickly test these out as well. Bregov is a perfectly functional map with a clean look and a reasonable amount of detail. And yes, Yanzel helped provide custom assets for this one too. I guess it only falls short of the others by having a more generic interpretation of what exotic is. But I like the map, and the middle section sports some quite original ideas. Cappadocia is a crazy map. There are loud sounds, car alarms and chaos overhead as hundreds of hot air balloons float about all over the place like dodgems. The setting is certainly unique. I didn't know a place like this existed until I googled it. So good on Neptune for making this one. It might not have made the top 10, but for all we know, it could have been the second best hostage map in the competition. Feast is another perfectly good defuse map. It's detailed, has nice lighting, and has no real flaws to speak of other than that it isn't exotic. It's just a town with some nicely shaped balconies, which I think probably made it score poorly for exoticness. It's got some interesting drop downs in middle and a lot of narrow corridors, which would make this one feel unique to play. In Gonji, locals are annoyed by how long they have to wait for trains, so I've decided to blow them up. Dank. This night map is well lit and clean. It reminds me of Back Alley actually, sort of like a 1.6 map that's been given a facelift. Look at how small the moon is. I couldn't see anything that would stop this map from scoring highly, so I can only assume it didn't make the top 10 because of the insanely high standard of this competition. Oasis reminds me very much of Crown. It's a huge castle built in the middle of an endless, featureless desert. It's got bridges, towers, archways and everything you'd hope a castle would have, and it's all done to a consistently high standard. While its setting is exotic, it begs the question, is it still exotic if desert castles have been done in Counter-Strike so many times before? I think this is another entry denied the top 10 just because of the high standard set by the others. And because there wasn't any water. Rampart's got a unique theme. It's situated in a historic World War II bunker complex that's under attack from local insurgents. The theme is consistent, it's well put together and kind of makes me want to play some Rising Storm. It's a shame there isn't more detail in the distance because I can't fault the level itself. Younger me would look at a map and judge how awesome it would be to defend it from an attacking army, and this certainly scores highly in that regard. Sophie is massive, or at least it feels like it is, with a castle on a hill overlooking what seems like an entire city. It looks like it's done without any custom assets, which I feel is the main problem with this map. It means that when you have to make something new, like a castle or some kind of decoration, you have to botch it out of blocks and pre-existing textures, and the result never looks quite as good as if a 3D modeler had created it for you. This can be a problem when the theme is exotic, which kind of implies a setting hasn't been done before. Of course, not everybody can, or wants to, team up with a dedicated 3D modeler. I've always worked alone and without custom assets. A few years ago you could have gotten away with it, but these days it's increasingly common for maps to have custom assets, and it's raised the bar beyond what a lone mapper can hope to achieve. I feel like Raidu's gone as far as he can on his own. Now he needs to team up with somebody else to give this map the unique assets that it deserves. And lastly, Zenith. Wow. Although not in the finals, this has got to be among the best looking CSGO maps ever. It's an exotic location, it's been lovingly detailed, and went through hundreds of iterations to get here. There are even time lapses showing the development through over 250 versions of the map. So how didn't this one reach the finals? Either the gameplay must be lacking, or the judges didn't like the theme. There's also something else going on. They started working on this map in 2015. It was already polished and coated in custom assets before this competition even started. This caused quite a lot of drama over on its forum entry, with people debating whether or not it should be allowed. Its makers didn't try to hide any of this, they were honest from the start. The competition judge, Pone, even chimed in to say that it was okay. But the discussion continued. I explained the rules at the start of this video, saying why they were the way they were. This submission is one of those fringe cases. It abides by the rules, but some people still aren't happy about it. And I bet you, had it made the top 10, 11, the list of people unhappy with it would have been even bigger. Whatever the reason, it didn't make the finals, though is technically still in the competition on standby should something else disqualify one of the finalists. Who would have thought that judging a competition would be so hard? Glad I'm not. Judging, that is.